Hello. This week the federal government made a series of announcements about its planned investments to increase the capacity of the nation's defence forces, notably in the increasingly contested areas of cyber and space. While there's no immediate threat, the government assesses Australia's strategic environment to be both more unpredictable and more risky. The focus of the government's investment is on increasing the nation's ability to project power. However, there are other ways in which to think about where such investment should be made, and they have implications for ethics. Power is the ability to impose one's will without aid from or hindrance by others. It can be exercised by individuals, including individual states, or in combination with others through alliances, for example. Power can be asserted through the threat of use even of force, and that's called hard power, or through the exercise of influence, soft power. One aspect of power that's often taken for granted is the ability to resist the will of another. In that sense, power is best conceived in terms of both offensive and defensive capacity. Thus, the untrammeled exercise of power will result in others conforming to your will, while you remain impervious to theirs. The defensive side of power also comes in hard and soft forms. Hard defensive measures are obvious and well understood. However, the soft aspect of defensive power receives comparatively little attention. And I think that needs to change, especially as vulnerabilities in this area of national security are beginning to be exploited by potential foes. One of the simplest precepts of strategy is to divide and conquer. Now, that can play out at several levels. It can range from forcing an opponent to fight on multiple fronts, to employing tactics which are designed to break alliances, to sow dissension, and basically to disrupt the capacity of a foe to act efficiently and in a coordinated manner. A strong, resilient society needs more than just physical and technical infrastructure. Of equal importance is its ethical infrastructure. And this is because a society's ethical infrastructure helps to preserve its integrity and coherence and acts as a kind of shock absorber to cushion the effects of change and specifically in this case to counteract attempts to divide and conquer. In other words, ethical infrastructure is a vital aspect of a state's defensive soft power. So how are Australia's defences in this area? Well, in a word, they're largely broken, mostly as a result of neglect. I think it's now time to look at such matters through a national security lens. So just how much integrity does a society require in order to defend against attacks targeting its coherence and its ability to cooperate when under stress? Is there a bare minimum of consensus required in terms of core values and principles of a kind that transcend potential points of division, for example, in relation to religion or politics? Do we actually have a duty to revitalise the nation's ethical infrastructure, not as a kind of optional extra and not in a piecemeal manner, but as a conscious and integrated program of investment? My hunch is that we ignore this aspect of national security at our peril. We can have all of the tools of hard power at our disposal, but still be defeated because of a loss of cohesion and will. A society's natural weaknesses in this area of defence, if left unaddressed, can be exploited and will be exploited by a canny enemy that knows that it can save blood and treasure by exploiting them. But repairing this state of affairs can bring its own risks, especially if a dominant culture imposes its views on those in the minority. There is a fine line between unity and conformance. How can we secure the protections of a common identity without sacrificing the strength of our diversity? So let me ask you, when it comes to ethical issues, how and where do you draw the line?